What if I told you? The version of you you've been praying to become already exists, right now, watching you from the other side of time. Not in the future, not in some distant dream. Here, now, like a mirrored frequency, vibrating on a channel you haven't tuned into yet. And the reason you can feel that future, the reason you get flashes of it when you close your eyes, is because that version of you is trying to pull you closer. But here's the paradox. You can't step into that timeline by chasing it. You can only collapse into it by remembering you were always there. Every timeline already exists. The one where you're confident, the one where you're abundant, the one where you're deeply in love and magnetic to everything you desire. You're not manifesting those realities. You're aligning with the frequency of the one that's already done. But most people never make it. They get trapped replaying the same emotional signatures of the past: shame, guilt, doubt, unaware that those emotions are not random. They're the energetic coordinates of an old timeline. Every morning you wake up and feel the same. You're unconsciously reaffirming the past version of you, and reality, like an obedient mirror, reflects it back with precision. The universe is not testing you, it's synchronizing with you. The reason manifestation feels like a lie for most is because they're trying to create a new future using the emotional energy of the old self. They visualize light, but feel lack. They speak affirmations, but embody fear. They think they're rewiring their mind, but the signal never leaves the static of their heart. Because the future self you seek doesn't respond to words. It responds to coherence, to vibration, to emotional resonance. You are not learning to become that future self. You are learning to remember how to feel as they already feel. And once you do, reality begins to bend, not because it obeys your desire, but because it recognizes its frequency. Your future self is calling. The question is, will you answer or keep replaying the past that's pretending to be your present? Let's get honest. You've tried, you've scripted, visualized, affirmed. You've watched endless videos, whispered your desires into the void, and yet, something always pulls you back, a silent gravity inside you that keeps you orbiting the same emotional planets. That force is your subconscious identity, the invisible author behind every coincidence, every pattern, every repeated heartbreak and missed opportunity. The truth no one tells you is this: you don't manifest what you want, you manifest what you are. And what you are, in your deepest emotional code, is determined by what your subconscious believes you deserve. If it was programmed to feel unworthy of abundance, it will filter reality until every opportunity proves it right. If it was trained to fear loss, it will manifest chaos just to feel familiar, because to the subconscious, familiarity feels safer than freedom. That's why when you visualize your dream life, part of you feels electric, but another part feels heavy, resistant, even nauseous. That's the old self dying, and it fights to survive. Because for years, your nervous system has found comfort in the known pain. It doesn't trust peace yet. Most people quit at that moment. They interpret resistance as failure, not realizing resistance is the threshold. The test isn't, can you manifest? It's, can you stay conscious when your old self begins to unravel? When you catch yourself spiraling, doubting, overthinking, sabotaging, that's not weakness. That's your subconscious revealing its programming. Every trigger is a portal showing you where you're still stuck in time. And until you feel those emotions fully, without escape, you cannot shift timelines. Because emotion is energy in motion. It must be completed to be transcended. So when manifestation doesn't work, it's not the universe ignoring you. It's the echo of your past self begging to be integrated. Don't try to silence it. Witness it. Let it speak. Because once you stop fighting your inner saboteur, it becomes your guide out of the loop. Everything you see around you, this room, your body, the people you love, is not solid. It's energy, vibrating at different frequencies, held together by consciousness. Physics calls it the quantum field. Ancient mystics called it the fabric of creation. But both were pointing to the same thing: a living field of intelligence that responds to observation. When you observe something, you collapse infinite potential into one manifested form. That's not philosophy, that's quantum mechanics. Reality doesn't exist until it's observed, and the observer is you. Now here's the secret few understand. Your thoughts don't just float inside your head. They ripple into that quantum field as electromagnetic signals. Your heart amplifies them, broadcasting emotional frequencies that either align with your desired timeline or repel it. Every emotion, every belief, every mental picture sends a command to the universe. This is who I am. So when your mind says, I am abundant, but your heart radiates fear, the field doesn't respond to your words. It responds to your coherence. The field doesn't hear your intentions. It reads your vibration. This is why people get stuck. They keep trying to think their way into a new reality instead of feeling their way there. They speak affirmations from the head, but the signal is scrambled before it ever reaches the field. Imagine your consciousness as a tuning fork. Every thought vibrates a note, but your emotions determine whether that note resonates or dissonates with the universe's song. When you achieve harmony, when your heart and brain hum the same frequency, the field bends around you. Synchronicities multiply, opportunities appear, people shift. You're not forcing change anymore. You're becoming magnetic to it. That's the real meaning of the observer effect. Not just observing atoms, but observing yourself. Without judgment, until your energy becomes congruent with your desire. In that moment, manifestation stops being a technique and becomes a state of being. You are not a creature moving through time. You are time collapsing through consciousness, and once you truly realize that, your future self doesn't feel far away anymore. They're right here, behind the curtain of your current frequency, waiting for you to match their signal. Knowing the truth isn't enough. You've watched the videos, you understand the field, but still, life doesn't shift. Why? Because knowledge is the map. Embodiment is the journey. To enter your quantum timeline, you have to bring your body, your nervous system, your breath, your emotions into alignment with your awareness. Otherwise, you remain a mind trying to control a field that listens only to the heart. Science now proves what mystics whispered for centuries. When your brain and heart enter coherence, when thought and emotion vibrate in harmony, your electromagnetic field expands dramatically. That expansion is the language of creation. That's how timelines lock in. So let's make this real. Right now, close your eyes for a moment and feel this. Step 1. Awareness. Notice where your energy is living. Are you in the past, remembering pain, or in the future, chasing outcomes? Bring it back. Here, now. This moment is the only portal that exists. Step 2. Emotion. Call in one feeling your future self lives in every day. Gratitude, freedom, love, peace. Don't think about it, feel it. Let it rise from your heart until it warms your skin. Imagine it radiating outward like sunlight. Step 3. Embodiment. As you breathe that feeling, whisper to yourself, this is who I am now, not someday, not when it happens, now. And hold that state for just 60 seconds longer than your body wants to. That's the shift. You just synchronized your signal with your desired reality. Because every time you feel elevated emotions before evidence appears, you collapse time. Your future self begins bleeding into your now, adjusting circumstances, magnetizing opportunities, rearranging probability. Do this daily, not as a ritual, but as remembrance. Because coherence isn't something you chase, it's something you allow. And when your body learns this language of light, you stop trying to become your future self. You remember you were never separate from them. That's embodiment. That's quantum alignment. That's how the future starts answering your vibration before you even speak. There will come a moment, maybe it's already here, when you'll feel like nothing is happening. You'll practice, you'll feel, you'll hold the vision. And still, reality stands still. And that's where most people break. But here's the truth the universe hides in silence. When nothing seems to move, everything is rearranging behind the veil. Your frequency is recalibrating. The field is synchronizing timelines. And your old reality, the one that used to feel so solid, is fighting for its life. Because energy doesn't disappear when you shift. It dissolves through resistance. That's why you start to feel heaviness, confusion, even loneliness right before a breakthrough. You're standing between worlds, no longer who you were, not yet who you are becoming. In that in-between, emotional regulation is not optional, it's sacred, because emotions are the steering wheel of your timeline. If you react to the chaos, you drive back into the past. But if you breathe through it, if you witness without collapsing, you stabilize your signal in the new frequency. Think of it like upgrading your operating system. Old programs glitch before deletion. You're not regressing, you're debugging your consciousness. So when the job doesn't come, the person leaves, the dream delays, don't curse the silence. The universe is testing coherence, not compliance. It's asking, can you hold the vibration even when the evidence disappears? The masters of reality aren't those who never doubt. They're the ones who feel doubt and stay anchored anyway. They breathe through the storm without asking the sky to stop raining, because they know rain cleanses. If you can remain emotionally steady when life looks opposite to your desire, you're no longer manifesting from need, you're embodying trust. And trust is the highest frequency there is. In that surrender, you cross the final threshold. You become unshakable, unmoved by appearances, because you've seen the truth. The quantum field doesn't respond to impatience, only to coherence sustained through uncertainty. That's how the future locks in. This is it, the moment of remembrance. The point where the old self bows and the new one rises. Not because something magical just happened, but because you finally saw through the illusion that it had to. You've learned that manifestation isn't about forcing the universe to obey you. It's about learning the language of energy, the silent grammar of emotion, thought, and belief. You've seen that your future self isn't waiting in time, they're waiting in frequency. You've felt how the subconscious tries to hold you hostage, not out of cruelty, but out of fear of disappearing. And still, you chose awareness. You chose coherence. You chose love in the face of doubt. That's transformation. That's mastery. That's the beginning of a new timeline. Because when you reach coherence, when your heart and brain hum as one, you become a living transmitter of the reality you wish to see. Your presence alone begins to rearrange matter. People feel it in your silence. Rooms shift when you enter. Synchronicities trail behind you like sparks from an unseen flame. That's when you understand the secret. Reality doesn't change because you asked it to. It changes because you became the version of you that no longer needed to ask. And now, your future self is no longer calling from beyond time. They're here, in you, as you. Every breath you take is their message echoing through form. So take a deep breath, right now. Feel it. The life you've been chasing is breathing through you. And if this message has stirred something inside, a remembrance, a truth, a silent yes, then you're not alone. There are thousands of us awakening together, remembering this same secret truth. We are the ones who no longer wait for miracles. We become them. So anchor this initiation. Comment below one word, aligned. That's your vow to coherence, your signal to the quantum field that you are, ready to live as your future self, now. And if you felt this transmission in your bones, subscribe and stay close. Because this isn't just a channel. It's a collective ascension, a gathering of those who remember. The next reality begins here, and it begins with you.